Um, all right, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever you're watching this from. It's recording, but I'm super excited about the person I invited today. His name is Luca Senatore. I might be saying it wrong. Forgive me if I do. But I'm super excited because I think I'm following more the rule of 23, where you have mentors at the top, then you surround yourself with people your same age, and then you start teaching to people below you. And so how I got to learn about Luca was because I saw him. He was invited on Rabia Bubala's podcast, a Facebook group, and I got to hear a little bit of what he does, but I wanted to share it with people that are closer to my circle. And so welcome. Thank you for your time. I'm sure you're going to drop some gems and give us nuggets to everyone that's going to be watching this. So I give you the mic. You can introduce yourself.
Nice. My name is Luca, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to share whatever knowledge can be helpful. The aim is one, is to share tips, tactics, strategies, everything that we do, that we did to build 8 businesses, a 7-figure agency, a 6-figure coaching business, so that you can grow your income and then grow your impact to the world.
Most definitely. That's a goal for a lot of people. They just don't have a plan set up. And so when I bring people like you, I'm sure they have a clearer path to take on. So if you can.
Very good. Let me just get some lights.
Go for it. Very nice setup. Love it. I got to upgrade like that too.
Yeah, well, it got to be dark. It was fantastic until a moment ago, but it got to be dark now. And this is England, when the sun goes away, it's nighttime. So let's just do this. There you go. Thank God for technology. How about this?
Perfect. So if you want, we can start with your story, with your background, maybe.
Sure. I grew up in Italy. My mom and my dad split up when I was very young, which in Italy it was very unusual back then. So, my mom didn't know how to make money. So we were extremely poor. It was really about what we could afford to eat rather than what we fancied at times. So I went to work when I was 13. I was bending, cutting, welding metal for the building trade. And so that started helping with paying the bills. And then when I was about, I think it was 18, I said, Mom, I found the job of my life. I'm going to be a marketer. I'm going to be a salesperson. I found this job. And she was like, wow, it's amazing. And I was like, yeah, it's commission only. She's like, no, we need the money. But, we were making so little money anyways that it didn't matter. So scrapped a little bit of money to buy a very old Audi car.
Okay.
And started this thing. My mom was very nervous. And then within, I don't know, weeks, I was making 3 times as much as anybody around me. And I was paying. It was brilliant. So we paid the debts. And then one day I had a crash. The car was completely written off. And although I was making money, without a car, you couldn't. And all the money went into the debt. So I thought, you know what, the debts were paid. My mom had enough income for herself. I thought, I remember looking at a map of the world one day and then noticing that the only place in the world where they spoke English, Italian, was Italy. And so Adolfo, I thought, I'm ever going to be talking to these people because I couldn't speak any English. So I left the country, landed in the UK with 65 pounds, which is $80, whatever. Wow. My first week's rent was about $220. So I had to go to work.
Yeah.
Somebody, a half Italian lady, she sent me to this fish restaurant washing dishes. And at the end of the night, they said, go home, go home. And I thought they were feeling sorry for myself, but they were like, go home, never come back. You can't work here. So, but I persisted, and eventually I learned some English, started learning affiliate marketing. And then in 2004, 2005, I started my proper company teaching people AdWords and then affiliate marketing. And then I opened an agency, and then the rest of history, So that's the background. I come from absolutely nothing.
Wonderful. It's very real stories. These are the stories that I like to hear, that I like to show, because they show some inspiration, that some people with a plan like yours, they can, get to a better level, better lifestyle. And so that's wonderful. Thank you. Well, we can get into the details of the things that maybe that really resonated with you, and why marketing, not something else, you know, and why commissions, and stick to that, and not choose the regular path.
You know, when you go to work back then, when you go to work at 13 and you're the only kid in town without a father, the word regular doesn't really have a meaning, right? So nothing was regular about my life, and so you had to take the creative path.
Hmm.
The regular path would have been studying a diploma, a degree, right? Which I'm ever so grateful I haven't gone down to, right? But that was the regular path. That was the regular path. I had to become, I had to become an entrepreneur, so to speak.
Yeah.
I had to figure out a way to make money in an environment that normally would be reserved for the people with the degree, for the people whose father passed on a business, whose mother passed on a business. I had to compete with these people, but I didn't have it. So commission only. If you sell, you get money. They don't care your degree. They don't care about your degree. They don't care about your parents. They don't care about your appearance. If you sell, they pay you the money. If you sell a lot, they pay you a lot. If you sell a lot, they pay you a lot. So they don't care. There's no discrimination. It's all down to you. So that's why. And then I fell in love with the psychology of marketing, the ethical, what I now call the ethical principles of persuasion. That if you can place your product in people's hearts, right?
Yeah.
And if you solve a real problem, you will sell.
You will sell,
If
you'll
you
get
don't
paid.
sell, if you worry about getting your clients results first and getting your clients second, you'll be happy for life because you'll sell.
I want everyone to emphasize, to highlight that sentence. A lot of people are in business for the money, and that's, I think, it's reasonable at the beginning. But most people reach a point where the money is not a problem anymore. The problem is they're doing something they don't like, or they don't feel passionate about. And I feel the passion on you. I feel the energy you're transmitting it already. And I hope everybody that's going to be watching this are going to, feel contagious, feel that energy. Um,
That's called prison. When you make money doing something you don't like, that's called prison.
Wonderful. And so maybe let's get into the marketing side of things. What was your niche? What was your focus? What do you help?
Yeah. So at the beginning, I was studying affiliate marketing using ClickBank. I don't know if any of you know what ClickBank is,
Maybe not that
but
many.
there's a lot of junk on ClickBank, right? But you learn fast. You learn, the sales copy. You learn to read metrics that matter. And you learn to ask the right questions and so on. And then as my English progressed, I started running a restaurant as a marketing manager, and I applied some of that strategy that I learned from the online world into the restaurant, and we doubled the revenue. Then I opened the shop. Then I finally opened an agency, and my agency was marketing, was teaching smaller companies how to praise themselves, how to talk to people, how to advertise so that they would sell more. And then as I grew up, became more interested in the psychology of marketing. So I started a lot of coaching. And then the online marketing world really took me over. So I started really dialing into AdWords, into affiliates. And then I started teaching it to other people. And I found because I grew up very poor and I came to this country very poor, inevitably you do it for the money. Yeah, because I spent all my young adult life trying to not be what my father was, trying to not be poor like I was, trying to escape from the things I came from. When I achieved what people call success, I wrote a book. I was nominated, I think, top 5% of international marketing experts, whatever it was. When you got that and you feel, oh, I'm not going to be like that anymore. When you have, then your true why comes up, right? And my why was that because I was always a giving person, always. That was me. Money didn't make me different. It made me more of who I was, right? And it does the same to everybody.
Yeah, it's an amplifier.
Exactly. When I got there, I realized that I started giving. I started helping people randomly. I mean, my son and I would bake lasagnas for the homeless shelters, or we give money away. And I was always like that. But there were two phases in my life where I couldn't give. One, when I didn't have anything. And yes, I could have given help. I could have given emotions. I was too worried about everything else.
Yeah.
The second time is when I made the money. I built 8 businesses. The first 4 almost killed me, right? So the first 4 businesses, I had the money, but I was doing 18-hour days, killing fires. And I was too preoccupied. I was too egocentric. When the ego went for a walk and then I locked it out, that's when it became beautiful, because then you can help people. And that's when I realized that my passion was to help others, which is why, although I've got, I run a 7-figure agency, I have a coaching program that works with smaller agencies and coaches. Why? Because I love helping people that are struggling with either money or time or both, because when they get free, they become helpful to everybody else. I think that's so powerful.
It is. It is powerful. Thank you. That's wonderful. I mean, I don't have anything to add on to that. So what's been the journey like? So you're saying that you built 8 businesses, 4 of those fell?
No, it didn't fail. They made a little bit of money. Okay. They all made profit. A couple of them I closed, a couple of them I sold, but they killed me. It was hard.
Okay.
My superpower was to inspire people, was to build, grow. But because I didn't know about systems, I didn't know about processes, I was egocentric. I thought only I could do stuff. I was the best, right?
It happens.
It pains me. It makes me embarrassed to say, but it's true. Back then, I thought I was the best. If you want something, get it done yourself. I was such a naive little prick. And the result was that I was doing stuff I wasn't cut out to do. I was doing them badly. I was doing them slowly. And the stuff that I was good at doing, nobody was doing, because I was busy doing the stuff that I wasn't good at doing, right?
Definitely.
So, and then luckily I learned. And how did I learn? Through mistake and through my wife. She opposite people gets you to look at the stuff that you have to change. And if you're humble enough, if you can, the secret is you have to kick the ego out. If you can kick the ego out of the door, then things get better.
Definitely. So at the beginning, it sounds like you were a solopreneur. You started everything on your own, and you started learning about these processes and systems. What were some of those processes and systems that you started learning about? Maybe someone here listening is going to say, wow, maybe I need a partner here. Maybe I need to create this automation or something like that,
Yeah, I mean, now I work on something that I call, we came up with this acronym, which is DAD, D-A-D, DAD, done, automated, or delegated. Yeah. The stuff that Adolfo should do are only 2. The stuff that Adolfo and only Adolfo can do because nobody else can. And there are things like that, right? Your superpowers, I call them.
Yeah. And
the second thing that you should do is stuff that you like doing. For example, one of the things that I should not be doing is building funnels, right? I have a funnel coach in my group that does it. I think if I throw a rock outside the window, I would probably hit a funnel builder. There are so many, right? But I love doing it. And so sometimes, this morning I was doing one because most of them I outsource, but so it's okay because you work also for the heart, not just for the pocket.
Yeah.
So the systems are really automation, delegation, right? And using technology in your favor. So planning is the number one thing that I feel is important. Many people are busy, but they're busy being busy. They're busy doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. So what they do, they hire VAs, right? Yeah. And what they do then, they give these VAs work to do that nobody should be doing. Nobody, no VA or not, that work doesn't matter. A lot of the stuff that people do doesn't matter. So nobody should be doing it. She should not be done. Right? Other things should be done. Okay. Other things that should be done, then delegating to VAs, automating, or scheduling is very important. And to do that, we have systems. We have a very specific way of planning, a strategic planning methodology that we follow every single day. So that every day you know what to work on to achieve the goal, not at the end of the year, Because another thing that many young people do is that they set a goal at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, where are you based? What country are you?
Miami, Florida, the United
Miami.
States.
Okay. When do you need to give your taxes in to the government? What day?
That's a mid-April, I think. I may be wrong.
Mid-April. Okay. Do you know in England,
Mhm.
90% of people, if not more, giving their tax returns the last day. Yeah.
Same thing here.
Right.
It's a close number.
They do the same with goals. Because I've got 6 months, I've got 5 months. Oh, sugar, I've got 2 months. Oh, it's too big of a goal. Whereas if you set weekly goals and daily goals, then you're always in trajectory, right? So we've got a strategic planning methodology that we follow, set of tech, a set of people. We've got a system to hire the right people, to train the right people. I think it's important to have these things in place, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hired my exec assistant, who's amazing, much better than me at all the things that I don't know how to do. And she makes the business better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you have a team, they complement what you lack in skills and habits, maybe. And most people, at least in the circle that I'm in, they lack a system. They plan more for vacations than for the retirement, like someone told me. That's wonderful. So how did you start building this support system? Because at the end of the day, I see you're building system around people, your executive assistant, maybe your family.
Yeah. So what was the question? Sorry.
Yeah. How did you start building that system of support system? Did you say, well, with my family, you guys have to understand I'm an entrepreneur. I might have to sacrifice these things.
I see.
Mhm.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
So I think it gets to be philosophical. And listen, I don't mean to know it all. There's many things that I don't know. I know how to build businesses and I know how to help others do that. There's many things I don't know how to do. One of the things is, empathy I lack, right? That there's a lot, because I had to grind all my life. So it's hard for me to say, it must be hard. I struggle. I try, but I struggle. Not because I don't think it's hard. It's just because, I don't come. If you were born in North Canada, right, and you go to England, it won't be a cold country for you, and that's what it is. But the one thing that I think kind of go on to the philosophical level a little bit is that I never changed. My wife met me like I am now, and so there was no surprises. Yeah, most people find their partner. Mm-hmm. And then for 6 months, a year, they change completely. They just with a partner, they were doing sport, they quit the sport. They just, I've never changed. And so there was no surprises. I mean, I started a brand new business when my wife fell pregnant with our first child, right? She's used to that stuff, I started, obviously, I've been coaching for 12 years, but I started a brand new organization doing coaching when the lockdown was announced.
Wow.
Who does that? My wife she's used to it. She's used to it. So yeah.
Wonderful. And what about the BAs and all the people that work with you? How do you qualify them? How do you determine they're a good fit for your team?
Yeah, it's another great question. I love it. Not by their skills. Yeah, anybody can learn skills, right? My 11-year-old son can learn skills.
Yeah.
We go by attitude. There are a few things. Need to be a nice person, right? There's no room for assholes.
Definitely.
Right? Need to be nice. I judge people by how they talk to their subordinate, not how they talk to the CEO. Everyone is nice to the CEO, right?
Wonderful.
So nice people. I really value people that find solutions in problems, even if they're the wrong solutions. I've got a lot of time for people that come to me and say, listen, we got a problem. This is what I thought we should do, rather than, hey, we got a problem, right?
Yeah.
For me, that's not important. And then people that do what they say they're going to do. If you say, if I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. If I say I'm going to do something for you, I'll do it. Right? And for me, I like that in people as well. Communication, very important. If you tell me you got it wrong, no problem. If I find out and you don't tell me, then the trust is broken. Then it doesn't work, right? So, ethical people, they want to do something for other people too.
Yeah.
And that's it really. So nice people basically.
Good, good. And I think it's important to emphasize this values, this skills, mindset that you just mentioned, because they might seem like common sense, but a lot of people don't have them. And when they get a job, like a normal employee, they just want to get the job done and get out. And I've faced that problem of having people help me out. They come with a problem and no solution. And so I wish, that I had someone tell me this before. I could have been doing a little bit more. That's wonderful. Do you have mentors yourself? I know you're one.
Always,
Always, right?
always, 100%. I wrote this book 12 years ago, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I never wrote a book before. And I
What's the
looked
name
for a
of it?
mentor. It's called The Agency, Build, Grow, Repeat.
Perfect.
I called it The Agency because I own an agency and I wanted to become the agency that also had a book, right? But this book is applicable to any business that wants to grow, any business up to 3 million in revenue, any business that wants to start up to 3 million. This is I'm writing another one, but this is applicable to anything. But I chose a mentor that wrote 14 books, right? He wrote 14 books. He knows how to write books. I wrote him, and the result is that I wrote. This is what it's a full book, so it's 300 and odd pages. I wrote it in 3.5 months, and he
Wow.
sells consistently. He sells very well. 90% of books sell less than 100 copies or 300 copies, I think. This sells on average 10 a day between this and the audiobook. So it's a book that is receiving good press. Is it the best book? Of course, it's not the best book. It's my first book. When I write 5 books, the first one. But the point is that without a mentor, I would have had to make up so many of the processes.
Yeah.
And now our organization is all about philanthropy. And so I chose a mentor who also does philanthropy, but has done it for longer than me. So he's already beginning to set up a nonprofit. So I choose mentors based. So for me, a mentor is a person that has already done what you want to do and can show you the way, right? If you then can find a mentor who's also a coach, then bingo, right? But I like to work with mentors more than I like to work with just coaches.
Wonderful. So we're reaching the end of this. I wanted to keep it short. What are the next goals for you, for Luca?
So that's a good question. I've got a couple of goals. Obviously, I just started working with a new mentor because I need to refine some sort of centering balance more for my personal life. So I've got 2 mentors now, in fact. And then, so achieve my best personal peak performance ever. So that's a short-term goal. And with the SAM, which is this, grow your income, grow your impact. We would like to have 1,000 businesses that reach the 6-figure mark by the end of next year, and 20 of those that reach 7 figures. So that's the goal. And help. We donate a lot of our money to charity, so help a lot of people in the process.
Awesome. This is a pattern that I've seen on people that are there achieving the goals. They want to help more people, and I'm grateful. Thank you for your time. Thanks for sharing these gems. I'm definitely going to create highlights out of this recording. Where can people find you in the future? Where can they find your book, etc.?
Yeah, so I'm on the socials. So lucasenatore.com. Actually, if you go to lucasenatore.com, there's an old blog actually that has been redone, but you've got the social links. Facebook and LinkedIn is where I hang out the most.
Perfect. Okay, so those are going to be down below in the description. And any last words, maybe?
No, listen, keep grinding, keep working hard. The program that we have built, we have a motto, which is we want to force you to succeed. We want to make it so hard for you to fail. The only one thing that you have to do is to always stick with it. It will be hard for everybody. Don't compare yourself to those that you think are successful, because everybody at some point has their faces in their hands, not knowing what to do. So it's part of it.
Wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Thanks for everything. You have a great day.
Adolfo, has been a blast. Thank you so much for the space.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you.